So there's a lot of things that go into making a video that just appears like maybe I've sat down and talked to camera for 5 minutes. Hours and hours have gone into it behind the scenes before that's even happened.
I've talked to other creators in the space, and it's talking about like certain tinges of colors on thumbnails, these little kind of nuances with different things that do have a massive impact, and also engagement. And I know that lots of people watching or listening will be fascinated, and we'll talk about that more. But with the side of things like the evolution again, if there's a game that comes in and takes over Fortnite, like I remember when you went from Call of Duty and suddenly the Pokemon craze, Pokemon Go, for you and Claire was absolutely enormous as well. Because you've always been a massive Pokemon fan, and that was a really nice, I guess, like moment in time between Call of Duty and Fortnite for you as well.
Yeah, I was really lucky during that phase. I think the great thing is a lot of people did jump on Pokemon Go during its successful phase, which honestly didn't last too long after its initial launch. But a lot of people were like, this game's doing huge, let me go out and play it. And they just didn't know what they were talking about. And I basically had my alia channel with all of the Call of Duty content on it. Luckily, I'd launched a second channel called More Alia, which was an extension of my video game interests, which had Mario on it, Minecraft on it, and it had a lot of Pokemon on it. It had Pixelmon, which was like a Pokemon Minecraft mod. It had card opening videos where me and Claire, my wife, would just sit down and open packs of cards. So like I already had a little bit of an audience there that knew I loved Pokemon. And then Pokemon Go came out and I just jumped on it again. It was like the ultimate mix of love for a game and content creation coming together. And it was such a fun time. It was incredible. And yeah, it was I'm really grateful for that game as well, because as you said, like Call of Duty was a little bit down at that time as well. Fortnite wasn't out, and it was a really nice bridge of me staying interested in YouTube and having something else to make content around. And there's phases of my career where, if some things didn't happen or if some things went a different way, like maybe I would have stepped back from YouTube entirely or just like taken a break and not come back. I don't know. But these different games that have come out have kept me interested and excited to make content. That's why I've been here for 15 years. And Pokemon Go is a big one. I still play that game. Absolutely love it.
I was definitely one of those people who, when I was having coffee with my wife that you know very well, and I suddenly saw him on Pokemon Go that a Snorlax was down the street. Mate, I just got up and said, "I'll be back in 10 minutes." I just legged it. I just left, and
that's impressive.
It was impressive. Yeah, she won't let me forget that, but it was it felt important. And just so everyone knows, I did catch the Snorlax.
Come on,
everything was fine. Come on,
let's go.
This is OG Pokemon Go as well.
That was one of the rarest back then. That was good.
That was a rare one. I mean, with these games that come out like Fortnite, if there's another game that does come out in future, would you happily switch again if you saw there being like this kind of real kind of like surge of interest in a particular title?
Yeah, I think about this a lot, and I think YouTube's in a slightly different position now where it's still possible to pivot to a different game for sure, but now there are so many established creators within different games that like to simply cross over to a new game. Like, for example, the one that comes to mind is obviously GTA 6. That's coming out, I think, end of next year is when the rumors are saying. So I am definitely preparing for that game, but I don't have a GTA dedicated channel or much of like a specific GTA audience necessarily. But as a content creator, it's important for me still to think about that. However, me just saying I want to make a GTA 6 video versus someone that's built a GTA 5 channel up for the last, 10 years, competing against that's going to be really tough. So pivoting isn't as easy as it may have been in years prior, where content niches weren't quite as competitive and it was more open for creators to come in and establish themselves. I'm actually launching a new channel again, which is going to be just an extension of even more Fortnite content, but also has the opportunity to branch into other games and could be a pillar that I use to introduce some GTA stuff, some GTA 5 stuff leading up to GTA 6, and then ultimately potentially have it hosting GTA 6 content as well. So I'm always thinking about how channels could pivot or could move and how I can prepare for different games coming out, because it ultimately is important. Although to some people, like let's say you're only interested in Fortnite, don't care about GTA, and you see me, for example, doing some GTA content, you may think, well, I know Ali's a Fortnite creator. Well, this doesn't make sense. But if I want to stay in the game for another 5 years, another 10 years, however many years, I also need to make sure that I'm covering the games that are most popular. And of course, I need to enjoy it as well. Like one game, Roblox, I like. No offense to Roblox, it's a great game. I think I've made a few videos in Roblox, to be fair, but actually playing it just gives me like nausea. Like it's the graphics aren't great, and that is a game, for example, where I thought about, should I launch a Roblox channel? Should I get into this game? It's massive, but I just don't think I could do it simply because I just don't really enjoy playing the game. So there's always a line there where I won't go into something just if it's successful if I don't have any excitement for it myself. So yeah, GTA 6 is one I'm definitely thinking about. You never know what other games could pop up as well, so you've always got to be ready to swap and jump in and test the waters of other games, just in case something big comes out.
I would say you're seen very much as a family-friendly creator as well.
That's true. GTA 6 probably doesn't align with that massively, but I could just drive some cars around and abide by the road rules, maybe.
But again, you've transitioned from Call of Duty, which I guess is seen as a kind of more adult kind of title. Then you've got into Pokemon Go. Fortnite kind of is in that weird space of like kind of, kind of kid friendly, but middle. But then going into GTA 6, I guess again your audience obviously is also growing up. They're also getting older as well, a lot of them. So I guess you're kind of catering to all your different audiences, and that must be something you're thinking about as well.
Yeah, it is a funny one because I will get recognized out and about by someone that's like my age, around 30, maybe a little bit younger, maybe a little bit older. They've got kids now. They're a normal working adult, but they will have sat down as a kid, like a teenager when I was making the videos, and watched my Call of Duty videos. So they're, a lot older now. And then you've got kids that are really young that are watching my more alia channel and some reaction videos there. It's a wide breadth now of demographic and ages that have watched my content, which is really, really interesting. I probably don't think as much as maybe I could do about capturing the audience as they get older. I'm more interested, I guess, in often just capturing new audiences and making sure that there's always a flow of people coming in to watch my content. But with something like GTA 6, and I do have a Call of Duty channel, I just don't have enough time to play the game anymore now that I'm a dad and running other channels. And when I do post those Call of Duty videos, they don't get a crazy amount of views, but it's still really cool to see people that maybe haven't watched my content in like 5 years, see this video float on their YouTube homepage and decide to click it and watch it and catch up on what I've been doing for the last few years. So I'm aware of it, but sometimes people will just grow up and grow out of your content. And maybe if I play a game that's a little bit older, I can pull them back in again. You never know.
Well, I mean, now that you are a parent, as you said, that must have changed things a lot as well in terms of your schedule. But have you also started thinking about, when kids get older, they see their dad, like, and the scale of what you've done as well. How has it changed your schedule, and has it had an effect on the kind of stuff you're making at all? How has it changed since you became a dad?
Yeah, I honestly think being a dad has, it's obviously there's some tough points, probably mainly just around sleep. When the little ones are so young, like you're getting up multiple times in the night, and then if they get up at 6 a.m. and they're wide awake, doesn't matter how little sleep you've got, you're up at 6 a.m. and that's your day starting then. That was probably been the biggest adjustment. But I think both me and my wife, before having our little one, Theo, we would stay up really late. Like when Warzone was big during the pandemic, me and her would stay up till like 3, 4 a.m. playing in the morning. And then obviously you're not getting out of bed until like 11, midday. But as soon as the little ones come along, like I kind of naturally wake up now around 6:30, 7, and like I'm good to go. I can survive on less sleep. I may look a little bit more tired than I was before, but it has really helped, actually, I'd say, my workflow and routine, and created more of a structure where I work between the hours of like, and anyway, starting between sort of 9 and 10 and finishing around 6 p.m. And at 6 p.m., that's like a hard cutoff. I try and finish early if I can. Time to go downstairs, feed Theo, play with Theo, start his nighttime routine, get him to bed. A few hours for me and Claire to have dinner, watch some TV, do whatever we want to do with our evenings. And then the cycle starts again. And Monday to Friday, my working days, 9 till 6 of my working hours. It's very structured. So it's weird. I think a lot of YouTubers have this freedom of working whenever they want, however they want. But I think carving it back into a more traditional work hours and work structure actually helps so much. And having a little one has done that, and it's actually been great. So yeah. And weekends are free to do whatever. Don't really check my phone much, like proper weekends. And it's so important to do that, to then be excited for Monday again, to start working, making new videos, and not burn out, basically. Because if you're not careful, you're working too hard, you're going to just blow up on yourself, basically.
Well, because you've been at the top for such a long time now. And I mean, having the freedom that you've managed to craft, it seems as courtesy of this, a team of 15 that you've amassed as well. It must be such a different game now compared to when you're doing everything yourself. The editing, I think everyone knows, is one of the big things that everyone, it takes the most amount of time, really. I'm keen to learn more about the management of that 15 that you've got here. So how are you curating what you're making video content wise, and what is that 15 team? Who's in terms of what their roles are? What do those 15 people in the team do?
Well, so I think the hardest thing for anyone that's done videos for a long time like me is that you've done everything. So letting go of any part of that process feels like you're downgrading in a way. Apart from the editing, I never really enjoyed editing. So when I first brought on my first editor, Aaron, during the Pokemon Go days, it was just game changer. But a lot of the things like coming up with thumbnails, even making the thumbnails, structuring videos, finding video ideas. Because I've done that for so long, you've almost like built an algorithm in your head for being able to look at YouTube and be like, yeah, that's a banger. We got to try it.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Hop On Comms. You can be sure to support the channel by liking the video if you did, leaving us a comment as well. We love reading those. And of course, subscribing to the channel to ensure that you never miss an upload as well. We are across all audio platforms, on socials as well. You can find each of those in the description down below. Thanks for taking the time out to watch this, and we hope you enjoyed Alia being on the show.